5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision for the week that was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, July 12th, 2019. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, a group of Troy University Communication and Fine Arts students spent part of their summer in Italy at the newly created Summer Arts Academy. However, it wasn't just Troy students. Faculty members were there as well, teaching and experiencing the culture of Italy. Ashton Selka has more from Pietro Santa, Italy.
When combining up to over 35 years of experience from Troy University staff and bringing it to Pietro Santa, Italy, professors are not only engaging in their students academically, but also allowing them to experience the culture surrounding them.
While studying abroad may be a new experience for most students, for teachers it takes teaching to a whole new level.
Some surprising things that have happened, some things that are not really teachable but just kind of happen to you, I think, when you evolve through traveling. Our students have not been on their cell phones, which has been really interesting. When we sit down, we try to have family lunch and family dinner together, and the cell phones are nowhere in sight, which is really neat.
When you take a look around, you will see students hard at work with professors right by their side guiding them along the way. The professors have worked extremely hard to make this study abroad trip possible and run smoothly, and they have definitely succeeded.
What an incredible experience it has been. I can't tell you how proud I am of them. I love the immersion here, the opportunity for them to bond together as a group, but the faculty-student immersion when we're together for all this time. We can do so much more than we can just 2 or 3 times a week on the Troy campus. So it's a thrill for all of you out there that may consider a study abroad. Please do it. It's truly a life-changing experience.
In Pietro Santa, Ashton Selka, Troy TrojanVision News.
And Troy's music industry program features a popular music band, Populous, which has performed a number of concerts here at Troy. And they've even hit the road for some short tours around the area. However, the band took their longest road trip yet, playing in Italy as a part of the Summer Arts Academy. Allison Woodfin has more from Pietro Santa.
Made up of students from all over campus, from guitarists to rappers to singers to dancers. Troy University's Populous headed to Pietro Santa, Italy to perform internationally for the first time.
Songwriting, for me at least, I have to have inspiration, and so I try my best to be able to be super direct with it, but sometimes it's a little difficult at times trying to get inspiration when it's not necessarily there, but it's actually a really good learning experience to have to force that sometimes and still be able to come up with something that's worth listening to.
The band has never performed on foreign soil, so this is a first.
This is Europe, and I've never been across that water before, so this is really exciting for me, and I'm blessed with this opportunity.
This is an unbelievable opportunity for our students, particularly in our music and entertainment industries. We're preparing students, we're preparing artists, songwriters, producers, audio engineers to actually go out and work in meaningful careers in America's biggest global business, and that's American music and entertainment. And so now, for the first time, here we are, we've got Troy University students playing all forms of popular music, from hip-hop to rock, okay, from R&B to country, you name it, we're doing it.
Populous played some of the greatest hits from throughout the decades that no matter who or where you were from, you can enjoy at least a song or two.
In Pietro Santa, Italy, Allison Woodfin, Troy TrojanVision News.
And while in Italy for the Summer Arts Academy, students experienced Italian culture, including local businesses. And as Carly Stone shows us, those businesses also had to prepare for a big influx of American visitors.
While Troy University students have been living here in Pietro Santa, behind the scenes, local workers have been working hard to ensure our stay is taken care of.
Yes, a lot of work, but we are so happy because all of you are fantastic people, young people. For us, it's a really pleasure because if you stay here, we can see your energy.
In the town of Pietro Santa, many students are exploring outside of their hotel rooms, and I've come across many local businesses. Quaint cafes and small markets lay just around the corner.
We must stay up to date to keep things fresh and modern for tourists. Step by step, we will better our work and service.
Since Pietro Santa has been so welcoming to Troy students, hopefully this opens up more doors for the future of our study abroad program.
We really hope to see you next year and next year again and again.
In Pietro Santa, Carly Stone, TrojanVision News.
And while in Italy, Troy University students visited a number of sites relating to history and the arts. One such stop took students to a place responsible for a big piece of art on the Troy campus. Allison Woodfin has more from Pietro Santa.
In the heart of Pietro Santa is the Peace Frame by Noel Hollis. Each day, locals pass by the frame or even through it on their way to their favorite shops. Some stop to take in the beauty of the frame itself. We took a trip to the family-owned foundry that constructed the Peace Frame 13 years ago. The foundry is owned by Franco Luncolini and his two brothers. He recalled constructing the Peace Frame in 2006 in a 5-month time period.
5 months is very difficult because the time is short.
Luccolini explained the process of molding the cast to heating and pouring the bronze all the way to letting the bronze cool and set. The process is one that takes time and special attention to the small details, as every little bit matters. He explained to us that the foundry had been in operation for over 40 years. They specialize in small pieces and large pieces, such as the Peace Frame itself. Luccolini said you can find the foundry's work all over, from Italy to Las Vegas, Nevada, here in the United States. In Troy, we can find a piece of the foundry's work as well, as the Peace Dove by Noel Hollis on Troy University's campus was constructed at this very foundry.
In Pietro Santa, Italy, Allison Woodfin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Although the Academy students spent most of their time in Pietro Santa, they had the opportunity to take day trips to world-famous destinations, which isn't always cheap. But as Brady Talbert discovered, if you're planning on visiting Venice, you may want to bring a little extra change.
It's safe to say that tourism makes up a large chunk of the Italian economy, and one of the nation's top travel destinations is making waves in an aim to bring in more revenue. Venice, Italy is known for its winding canals and transportation by gondola, which isn't cheap, but tourists can expect that price to increase as the local government is beginning to enforce additional fees specifically for tourists. CBS News reports that the city began enforcing a tourism tax in May, charging tourists €3 or $3.40 US to enter the city. The fee applies to all visitors, specifically targeting day trippers or tourists who do not have to pay the city's hotel tax, and in some cases do minimal shopping and dining. The funds collected will be put towards public services such as trash collection and beautification, which Venice officials say cost the city more due to high tourism rates. While there are exemptions to the tax, such as people born, residing, or working in the city, tourist Victoria Cirilli, an American of Italian heritage, suggests another form of taxation, such as a sales tax.
Something that makes it more accepting for tourists to come to the area, because a lot of people might find it to be like, we don't want the tourists to be in this area or, enjoy their time while they're in Italy.
The tax will fluctuate next year, with the fee going up to €10 in peak seasons. While the government continues to investigate ways to collect the tax, it's currently being pulled from transportation into the city. For example, being added onto the price of train tickets. While some may feel the city is rocking the boat when it comes to visitors' wallets, the tax is expected to remain in place.
We will take a short break, but when we return, we'll look at a couple of ways school children were learning this week on the Troy campus. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You might start on a Troy campus or at your kitchen table. Wherever you start, you'll be more than a student. You'll be part of the Troy family, armed with the education, values, and skills you need to succeed. Ready to lead today's global workforce. No challenge will feel impossible. No dream will be out of reach, because we will be with you all the way. Trojan Warriors, one and all.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
Hi, I'm Ben Utek. I played high school, college, and pro football, helping my team win the 2006 championship. That was an amazing day, but it can't compare to the joy I feel every day with my loving wife and 3 beautiful daughters. My football career ended after I suffered my 5th concussion. Did you know that over 1 million athletes suffer a concussion each year? That includes boys and girls, every age, every type and level of sport. It isn't always clear that a player has had a concussion, so parents, athletes, and coaches need to learn about concussion signs and symptoms. The American Academy of Neurology recommends athletes thought to have a concussion be immediately removed from play and not returned until assessed by a healthcare professional trained in concussion. This isn't just about sports. It's about your brain. When in doubt, sit it out. Learn more at aan.com/concussion. A message from the American Academy of Neurology.
All this week, area school children got a taste of science, technology, engineering, and math at a camp dedicated to teaching the STEM fields called Kids at College. As Stuart Bradley shows us, at least one part of the experience was electrifying.
Kids are growing up so fast that they're already getting into college. Troy University's College of Education is hosting the Kids at College camp this week. The camp tries to instill teamwork and problem solving through a variety of activities that revolve around STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, with a major focus on different types of energy.
Yesterday we learned about wind energy. The first day we learned about solar energy. So each day we're learning about different kinds of energy and coding for our cities.
On Wednesday, the kids learned about electricity from the South Alabama Electric Cooperative. They learned about electricity safety, how it's generated, and all the equipment that helps bring power to their homes.
We are an opportunity to give a chance to teach the kids about electricity, what we do, how it's made, how it's generated, the resources that it takes to generate that electricity economically, and of course the fuels that it takes to generate electricity, the truths about electricity, the good and the bad, if you will.
Afterwards, the students had time to work on their solar cities. This is a recurring activity throughout the week, helping to instill those teamwork values by having the kids work together and to further educate them on the importance of energy.
It's very important because the kids are our future, and it's important for them to be knowledgeable and where our energy comes from, because they're going to be the ones to improve it later on in life.
Stuart Bradley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This week started the first of 3 weeks of Summer Spotlight, camps designed to introduce young people to theater and dance here on campus. This week's camp shined the spotlight on dance. Cody Giles has more.
Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance hosted a week-long event that allowed younger kids to come and perform in front of their parents.
Well, today we are doing Spotlight on Dance and Creative Drama, all underneath Summer Spotlight, and we're putting together the whole show about Willy Wonka, and we're going to perform on Friday. We've got maybe 30 kids here today, 8 of them are dancers, and we're just teaching them, having fun, and learning more about dance and theater and acting. I've been getting to learn how to teach dances, choreographed dances for kids, because everything is much different than teaching college students or adults. You're training kids, and you have to have fun in there with it, even while you're teaching them like actual technique. So it's a very delicate balance between fun and actually learning stuff that we have to learn how to do. And this is a perfect place to do that. So this is a big way of getting kids to get out and use their voice and sing a little louder and dance a little crazier. I think just getting kids to have fun and be kids.
We're practicing dances and I'm really excited for them. We're practicing Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. This is for our summer camp and this is just to have fun and to show our parents.
We do this every year, and so I taught last year and I've been teaching this year. So I think if you haven't signed your kid up for one of these summer spotlights, you need to try it because it is a great experience. We have kids come back every year. This is something they look forward to every year. One of the best camps I've ever been a part of.
Cody Giles, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see some creative ways campers at a Chinese language camp were able to show off what they'd learned. That's right after this.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
During the 2-week Troy Star Chinese language camp, high school students learn how to speak Chinese, but they also learn how to sing in the language as well. And those talents were on display in a surprise performance in the dining hall. Cody Giles has more.
It was a normal, quiet afternoon in the Trojan dining hall. That was until the Troy Star program broke out into a flash mob.
This kind of very popular Chinese dance we call street dance. Yes, the students learned and also they enjoyed how to do Chinese dance.
We use this opportunity for the students to show one of the Chinese dancing. This is the 9th year for Troy University offer Chinese language and culture summer camp.
Throughout the week, the students and teachers participated in different events, all in preparation for the final day.
On the coming Saturday, the students will have the graduation ceremony. The students will show to the teachers and their parents what they have learned during those 2 weeks. They will dance, singing, poem recitation, a lot of performance.
Special thanks to Dr. Xu, Iris Xu. She's the director of Confucius Institute. She has made a tremendous achievement to CI, and I'm very happy to work with her.
I feel very thankful to Troy University to provide this opportunity for the students to learn Chinese language and culture. We try to motivate students. In that way, they will go on learning when they go back to their school.
Cody Giles, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And on Saturday, students participating in the Troy Star Camp wrapped up their 2 weeks with a ceremony that displayed much of what they had learned in the camp, including a traditional dance that took some time to learn. Daisy Ling shows us how they prepared for the dragon dance.
I'm gonna run
On Tuesday, members of the Troy Star Summer Camp continued the practice of Chinese dragon dancing in Hill Hall, preparing for Saturday's performance. There are many steps to imitate the movements of the dragon.
So there's a lot of different steps. We mostly call the steps by tricks. Each trick is something like over under, where it indicates everyone in the dragon that the head portion is going to go over our two very important middle pieces called the gate. And then the bottom or the back pieces will actually go under. So that's where we get the name over under. A lot of other tricks, we kind of call them based on what they look like. So we'll call the final trick bow because it looks like the dragon is bowing to the audience, or one of the tricks looks like a spiral, so we call it spiral.
Dragon dance originated from the ancient Chinese people's worship of the dragon, and people will dance whenever they celebrate festivals.
I think it's interesting how it's like more of a serpent and like very long and flowy compared to the American dragon, which has like big wings and feet.
Dragon dance is a way to pray for peace and good luck. Also, a fun way to learn more about Chinese folk traditional culture.
I mean, the dragon dance, it's a lot of fun. I also did it last year, and I'm looking forward to a great show at the end of the week.
Daisy Lun, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll sit down with Troy's new Senior Vice Chancellor for Student Services. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Troy University, we offer military students more than just flexibility and convenience. We offer top-ranked programs that are an investment in your future. And like the military, you'll be part of something. A powerful network of more than 158,000 alumni worldwide. And we will be with you all the way. Proudly serving our military since 1950, Trojan Warriors, one and all.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
If you store your guns properly. So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Dr. John Schmidt recently returned to Troy University after a brief retirement to become Troy's Senior Vice Chancellor for Student Services. I spoke with Schmidt about his return in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Dr. John Schmidt. I want to thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you, Aaron.
And first off, thank you for joining me, but welcome back to Troy University. A lot of people have known your past here. You stepped out of retirement to come back and fill a position that you once held many, many years ago. So kind of just talk about your return to campus and kind of first off, what brought you back?
Well, first of all, it's good to be back home again, like the old John Denver song says. It's good to be back among family because truly Troy is family, and I love this university. I love the community, so it really is good to be back home. But yeah, I was enjoying retirement for about the last 5 years or so, and then Dr. Hawkins has a persuasive way about him, and he just asked if I would consider coming back, and certainly when a good friend asks you to do that, you say yes.
You say yes. And coming back to student services, now the last position you held before retirement was in the advancement.
In the advancement area,
but
right.
this is a position that you've held once
Sure,
before. So,
sure.
So what about student services makes you want to come back and do it?
Yeah, you know, when I was here a long time ago, goes back to 1994, so you can do the math. I sat in one of these staff meetings, and I had just retired out of the Marine Corps, and so as I listened to these lofty discussions, I boil it down to 6 words. What does it mean to students? And it being the operative word, being facilities, being budget, being registration, whatever it might be, it being the operative word, what does it mean to students? And I took that, and it really has never left me all the 20 years I was here, and even coming back into this position now. It really, everything we do centers on students. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have students. So I really have looked at that in my positions at the university, being the student advocate. You know, is there a way we can make a decision that benefits the students that are here?
And does that past experience in student services, is that obviously helping you at this point now that you made the return?
Yes, except there's a lot, you know, it's a different dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the university, like society, is changing. The dynamic we have today is there's a lot more competition for enrollments. A case in point being, we were the pioneer. Troy University was a pioneer in online education. Alabama and Auburn didn't have anything to do with it. Now everybody's in online education. So that's a dynamic that's out there. Our high school population in the state is dwindled. More competition for fewer students. And so really the enrollment piece is a really challenging, but I look at things as an opportunity.
Oh yeah, opportunities and challenges. And then you talked about getting the students here, but now once they're here, what are some of the things that you see that maybe you and the university can be working on to make things a little bit better? Sure. Or are things good the way they are?
No, I mean, status quo is never good.
Okay.
And I would say that a couple things. One, having a Student Success Center is a big plus. The question I think becomes, and Dr. Fulmer and I have talked, should all freshmen go through the Student Success Center? I don't know. That's a question that's out there. And another thing that I thought about, again, what does it mean to students theme? You know, we recruit these students from all across the state and really all across the world because of the international component. So I've asked our enrollment folks to say, okay, after 8 weeks of student being here, how about recruiters writing a little note or writing an email back to the student saying, how are things going? You know, we're just checking up on you. I recruited you here, but we just want to know in the last 8 weeks, are things going satisfactory? Doesn't cost us anything. Just a kind of a tug at their strings.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just those little things of family and caring that makes a difference for this university. But I'm going to think of other things such as that, and it's not just me. We've got a great staff that cares.
And a lot of people, academics, obviously at a university is one of the things that the priority, but that the student services offers that a little extra, that retention factor, the quality of life for the students here. And so, and I know retention is one of those big factors in making sure you keep the students here. So how important is student services in making sure that students are happy and want to continue their education for 4 years?
That's, in fact, I mentioned recruitment, but you're emphasizing retention. You're absolutely right, because once you get them here, you want to keep them here. And so some of the quality of life things that we're looking at is and I've not got a chance to really discuss with the staff, is what are those activities that we can have to engage the students? You know, Dr. Fulman over there has a community service component. Is that something that interests students, and how do we get them more involved in that? How do we get them involved in campus life? You know, football is a great attraction, and do we get them out there to the stadium and being part of the Trojan family that way? So there's a whole bunch of other things that I need to talk with staff about for looking at the quality of life, because you're absolutely right, the quality of life, and also what happens in the classroom. What happens in the classroom is very important. You know, the professor could say, Mr. Jones, I noticed you weren't in class yesterday. It could be just a little nudge like that that says, oh, I need to be in class because Dr. So-and-so recognized I wasn't there. So it's those small things that I think helps retain our students. Doesn't cost a lot, doesn't cost anything except for caring.
All right. Well, welcome back to Troy. Here is working with student services, and here's hoping that you find some of those answers you're looking for here on the second time around. Thanks for joining us.
It's great being back home. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's all for the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Thursday. Or feel free to like our Troy Trojan Vision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. Until next time, have a good week.